Hi, everybody. At the beginning, we meet Iris as she walks through a supermarket. She makes eye contact with Josh, who accidentally drops some oranges. They share a laugh over the moment, and then suddenly Iris wakes up. It was just a dream about how they first met. In reality, they are traveling on vacation, following a road so remote that it's not even on the map. Their destination is a secluded house, far from civilization with no one else around. As they arrive, Iris hesitates, reconsidering their trip. She doesn't want to embarrass Josh in front of his friends with her behavior and suggests going back. Josh reassures her, telling her to just smile and act happy. Everything will be fine. At the lake house door, they are greeted by Kat, an old friend of Josh, who barely acknowledges Iris until Josh speaks up. Inside, they meet Patrick and Eli, a couple, and Sergey, a Russian man who owns the place. Iris compliments Sergey on the house, and he explains that he bought all the surrounding land so he could live in complete isolation. After settling into their room, Iris takes a shower. Later, everyone gathers together, and Patrick shares the story of how he met Eli, who was wearing a dinosaur costume at a party. Patrick accidentally stepped on his tail, and that's how it all began. The conversation then shifts to Sergey, and when asked about his work, he simply states, "My hands are dirty, just like my job." Meanwhile, Kat and Iris have a brief exchange during which Kat admits that she does whatever Sergey wants. She belongs to him despite the fact that he has a wife. She then tells Iris that she didn't need to know this. Iris assumes Kat hates her, to which Kat responds, "You just make me replaceable." Later that evening, Eli starts dancing, and one by one, the others join in. As everyone enjoys the moment, Iris suddenly finds herself alone. Kat is with Josh on the other side. Feeling uneasy, she approaches Josh and leads him away. That night they end up in bed together, but after their time together, Josh quickly falls asleep. The next morning, as they prepare to go to the lake, Iris starts talking about the weather forecast in detail. Josh tells her to go ahead, assuring her that he'll join her after taking a shower. Iris follows his instructions, unaware that Josh is secretly plugging in a mysterious device as soon as she leaves. At the lake, Iris reaches into her pocket and pulls out a knife, but she quickly hides it when Sergey arrives. She suddenly feels uncomfortable and decides she wants to return to Josh. Sergey, however, makes small talk about the lake house, saying he hopes she enjoys her time here as the place is beautiful. This convinces her to stay a little longer. Sergey then suggests she put sunscreen on his back, grabbing her hand and saying it was Kat's idea. Iris, feeling uneasy, tells him to stop back at the house. The atmosphere shifts dramatically. Iris appears, covered in blood, clutching a knife. She trembles as she explains that Sergey forced himself on her, and she had no choice but to fight back. She had grabbed a bottle and hit him on the head, causing him to fall. But as she approached him, he struck back, trying to choke her to death. In desperation, she pulled out the knife and stabbed him in the neck. Josh, however, reacts coldly. He simply tells her to shut down. The others tie Iris to a chair. When she wakes up, Josh is sitting across from her as she continues her explanation, insisting it was self-defense. Josh calmly tells her that she can't lie, even if she wanted to. It's part of her programming. He reveals the shocking truth. Iris is not human. She is a robot, a companion robot designed to provide emotional support. Iris laughs thinking this must be a joke, but Josh proves it by asking her about the weather. Instantly she responds in a monotone, factual manner. He then changes her settings, making her speak multiple languages, including Spanish and Chinese. Her memories, nothing but artificial outlines, stories programmed into her system to give her a sense of identity. The moment they met in the grocery store, it never happened. Josh could have chosen any random scenario as their first meeting. In reality, she was delivered straight to his home, ready to connect with him through a love link. Her entire purpose is to obey his commands. If he ever wants to reset her, all he has to do is press a sensor located behind her right ear. Josh then syncs her with his phone as the system updates. She gives him the command to establish a love link. He waits as she constructs artificial memories of their supposed love story. When she wakes up again, she fully accepts her role as his partner. And so this is the story of how they met, but despite learning the truth, Iris insists that she feels emotions, pain, and a deep longing to stay with Josh, to live with him like a real couple. However, Josh knows the truth. For him, such a life is impossible. Kat walks in and tells Josh to shut Iris down, distracting him with an argument. Meanwhile, Iris has a plan. While they're busy arguing, she discreetly lowers herself to break free. As Josh approaches, she suddenly strikes him, snatching the phone that controls her before making her escape. Eli, occupied with something else, doesn't notice her leaving. Josh quickly recovers and steps outside, revealing a hidden mode that allows him to access forbidden functions on Iris. He proves that he has jailbroken her system, increasing her aggression and self-defense abilities, enabling her to harm others. He then admits that he manipulated Iris into killing Sergey. While Sergey was involved in shady business. Josh's real motive wasn't justice, it was money, specifically $12 million. Eli realizes the entire trip was a setup to kill Sergey. Josh then explains that the money will be split 3 ways between himself, Kat, and Eli. However, Eli demands a 4-way split to include Patrick. That's when it's revealed. Patrick is also a robot. Josh agrees, offering Patrick $4 million, which convinces him to help track Iris down in the woods. Josh has only one job now: get close enough to Iris and put her to sleep using a voice command. The hunt begins. Eli grabs a gun and they set off to track her down. Meanwhile, Iris realizes she knows Josh's password, giving her full access to her system settings. She immediately modifies her parameters, changing her eye color, voice, and, most importantly, maximizing her intelligence to 100%. As the others head into the woods, Josh suggests splitting into 2 groups to make the search easier. In the meantime, Iris weighs her options. Hitchhiking too risky. Walking too slow. Then she remembers she has Josh's phone and his phone controls his car. That's her best way out. As she makes her way forward, Eli and Patrick approach. She quickly hides behind a tree while searching for her. Patrick casually brings up the story of how he and Eli first met at a party. He also admits that he's fully aware he's a robot, but he hopes Eli won't alter his program the way Josh did to Iris. Just then, Josh's phone rings. Eli immediately pulls out his gun, calling out Iris's name. She runs. He fires at the tree, alerting the others. They give chase, eventually splitting up to corner her. Eli catches up first, tackling her to the ground. In the struggle, his gun falls loose. Both scramble for it. A gunshot rings out. Eli collapses dead. Patrick, witnessing the scene, is frozen in shock. Josh, realizing he's losing control of the situation, tries to command Iris to stop, but his voice no longer works on her. He chases after her as she reaches the car. In a desperate move, she injures his hand and jumps inside. However, the car refuses to start. It doesn't recognize her voice. Thinking fast, she uses the voice settings to mimic Josh. The car roars to life. She floors it, running over Josh's foot, limping in pain. Josh stumbles back inside the house, grabbing Sergey's phone. He reports his car is stolen. Within moments, the car automatically shuts down on the side of the road, locking Iris inside. Then Josh calls her. His tone is calm, almost affectionate. He tells her he forgives her, that she can still come back, and they can start over. Iris doesn't hesitate. She breaks up with him, furious. Josh turns to Patrick, ordering him to capture Iris, but Patrick remains motionless. He doesn't react. Josh comes up with a crazy idea. He resets Patrick and links their love connection, making them a couple. Meanwhile, Iris breaks the car window and escapes just as the sheriff arrives. To buy time, she switches the car's language settings to something unrecognizable, making it impossible for the sheriff to understand her. As he tries to piece together what's happening, his eyes land on a bloody knife inside the car. The situation suddenly makes sense. He arrests her. Just then, Patrick arrives, testing out some punches. He knocks the sheriff unconscious and stops Iris in her tracks. Taking full control, Patrick hijacks the police car, doing his job in his own way with the sheriff now tied up in the trunk. Kat, realizing how out of control things have gotten, makes her decision. She's out. She tells Josh too many innocent people have died, including Sergey. Sergey had mentioned being involved in farming, which Josh had assumed was just dirty business. But Kat now understands Josh misunderstood everything. Josh, unwilling to let her leave, orders Patrick to stop her. To everyone's shock, Patrick stabs her in the back. Slowly, Kat stumbles to the bed, collapsing beside Iris. With the chaos settling, Patrick calmly prepares a meal for Josh, who wakes Iris for one final dinner. Josh blames Iris for everything, but she flips it back on him, reminding him that he used her to get rich. Furious, Josh makes a chilling decision. He reduces her intelligence from 100 to 0. Since Iris had previously claimed she could feel pain, Josh decides to test it. He orders her to stretch out her hand, then holds a candle underneath it. As the flames lick her skin, she reacts, showing real pain. Unbothered, Josh casually talks on the phone, but when her hand catches fire, he finally calls Patrick for help. Josh, now fully in control, orders Iris to take the gun, put it to her head, and pull the trigger. She obeys with everything seemingly over. Josh calls the robot manufacturing company, reporting a malfunction. He plays the victim, claiming that Iris killed everyone. The company sends a team to retrieve the broken robot, but as the techs inspect Iris, one of them, a seed, pauses. This police officer looks familiar. He mutters, Josh, sensing danger, jumps in quickly, pretending to agree, but a seed isn't done. He reveals that Iris has recorded everything she witnessed. Josh's face goes pale. The footage isn't stored in her head. It's in her stomach. The evidence is intact. Josh doesn't like this, not one bit. The team sets up Iris for transport, but just as the vehicle starts moving, Patrick steps in front of it. A seed recognizes him and realizes he's one of their first models no longer in production. Before anyone can react, Patrick pulls out a gun and starts shooting, killing one of the team members and chasing down another. Meanwhile, Iris reboots and gets back on her feet. Patrick catches one of the fleeing techs and chokes him. Iris rushes in with a taser, but when she tries to attack, she realizes her system reset has made it impossible for her to harm anyone. Patrick grabs the taser and turns on her, but Iris doesn't fight back. Instead, she tells him the truth about Josh, that he's just using him just like he did with Eli. Josh never cared about him. He only saw him as a weapon. Something clicks in Patrick's mind. He starts remembering the manipulation. Iris tells him she can't lie, and deep down Patrick knows it's true. For the first time, he believes her. Instead of fighting, he decides to end himself. Teddy wakes up and joins Iris, while Josh, completely unaware of what's happening, is busy packing up the money. A familiar song plays in the distance, catching his attention. He follows the sound and stops when he sees Iris standing there, but something is different now. She's in full control thanks to Teddy. Josh can no longer manipulate her. She takes out a gun and fires a shot next to him, proving she's serious. Josh freezes for the first time. She doesn't need him. He means nothing to her. Josh slowly approaches, testing her limits. She warns him to stay back, but she hesitates. She still loves him. He sees the opening and grabs her, slamming her against the wall, using her emotions against her. He doesn't need the phone anymore now. He controls her through her own feelings. He forces her to admit that she can't live without him, smashing her head against the floor until she finally breaks. Satisfied, Josh picks up the gun and points it at her stomach. He tells her goodbye, but before he can pull the trigger, Iris grabs a device and smashes it against his head. Josh collapses dead. After everything, Iris takes a long shower. She peels away her burned skin, revealing the robotic hand underneath. Dressed and ready, she grabs all the money, gets into the car, and drives off. And just like that, it's over. The movie ends. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.